How's it going? My name is Steven Jackson, and today I'm going to be showing you how to hook your boat to your truck and how to launch it at the lake. So let's get started. So to begin, what we're going to want to do is connect the trailer, also known as the hitch, to the ball or receiver. This is the receiver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back the truck up until it's under right there, and then we will connect the safety chains and the tail lights, and then finally we will use this to ensure that this will not pop up during transit. So let's get started. Now we can connect our safety chains. We have two safety chains, one on either side, and they need to cross. The left side will go on the right side here, and this right side chain will go on here. We'll cross them underneath, going that way and that way. So we can start with the right one since it's right here. This is the right one. And it's simply going to go right in like so. That's what it should look like. Now we will repeat the same step for this side. Just like so. Crossing them should yield something that looks like this, this, this. That should be your final product. This way, if the trailer were to come undone, the chains would prevent it from scraping on the ground and you could still get home safely. On to the next step. What we will do next is we will close this to ensure that the ball will not come out of the receiver. We'll use this pin to lock it essentially. Now that your two chains are crossed and this is seated properly, you just push down on it, thread this through, and tighten it over here. You can connect the harness, which is right here, so that's about right there. You kind of wrap it around the trailer, or you can let it hang down. You simply just lift on this and plug it in. Your final product should have that plugged in. Two cross chains on either side. The trailer is properly seated. The release pushed down with the safety pin. And you should be ready to go. Okay, once everything's hooked up and you ensure that, the next thing you're going to want to do is put your truck or vehicle into tow haul mode. In my vehicle, you can see it right here. You click once to put it in tow haul. And you can see, we'll focus right there. It says tow haul. That ensures that the transmission will be able to properly shift. When driving, simply drive as normal. It will allow you to know that the trailer is connected. Just hit OK. And drive slowly. It will take more gas than normal, but you will see the boat start to move with you. Always look at your rear view mirrors on both sides. You can see the wheel of the trailer, and always ensure that it's still back there with you. Drive slowly and remember to brake extra because you have a lot of weight behind you. Okay, now that we're at the lake, let's go over how to prepare the trailer to be put in the ramp. As you can see, the water level is a little low, but you should still be able to launch the boat. Okay. So, there are two straps that hold the boat to the trailer. There's one, there's two. What you do, you undo this little strap, pull up like so, and then you just kind of feed it through like a normal strap, a ratchet strap. Just unhook it, And I like to put them right here in relation to the boat, and then I put them in the truck bed. You can put them in your vehicle, or you can put them inside a storage compartment on the boat as well. So we're just gonna repeat the same thing. Push up a little bit, get it loose, just unhook right there, right there. So after the two straps are done, we have this thing called the transom saver. What the transom saver does is during transit, it prevents the motor from swinging and possibly damaging or cracking the transom, which is this back part of the boat. Very important part, probably the most important part. So to do this, and it's gonna be different for every boat, you just kind of unhook this band, like so. Kind of, propeller should spin freely if it's in neutral, and then you come along here, take that off, and put it with your straps. I like to keep them all together, just so nothing goes. If you keep your drain plug out, I don't, I keep mine in. Be sure to ensure that's tight. Those holes are normal, those are for the live wells, and if you go fishing on your boat, that's what you use to keep your fish. So now that we have this, what we do is we're gonna walk over and we're gonna push up on this button right here. As you can see, it says trim, and this is gonna raise the motor. So watch what happens. Notice how that fell? Now I can raise the motor. While we're here, we're gonna raise the motor all the way, where you can kind of see it stopped. And that ensures that when we back down, the angle won't hit the skeg or the propeller, damage anything. So we'll lower it in the water. So another good rule is to always remove this and keep it with your things. So as a mental check, you should have a transom saver, 1, 2 straps, and your bungee for the transom saver. So put this in the truck, do a visual, be sure everything is still good. The motor's up, your plug is in, and you're ready to start backing down. As you can see, it helps to be directly in line with how you want to go roughly, so you have to make very few corrections when coming down. So we'll just come basically straight down this way. When turning your trailer, this is the most crucial part. The trailer is going to go the opposite way of the truck. So if you turn left, the trailers are gonna go right. And if you turn right, the trailer's gonna go left. Take it slow. I've been doing this for several years, and I still have to take it slow every time. So without further ado, let's get into that. Here's a different view. As you can see, we just came straight down into the water. A good rule of thumb, each ramp is going to be different based on the severity of the slope, but you want to leave a couple inches to 1.5 feet, depending on how steep the ramp is and other conditions. As previously mentioned, you can see the water level is really low. I've been here in the past, and you normally you could just dock the boat up here because the water level would be, it's about right there. But we will just have to park it right here, as the instruction manual says. Alright, now that the motor is started and the boat is freely moving and we know we can park it, what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the winch by simply pushing down on this all the way, putting a little pressure on it. Because the boat's already floating, it's not going to pop off or anything, but this will give us a free movement. You'll see. My leg out of the way. Like so. So the boat can roll off. Notice it coming off the roller, and you see it fall like so. Okay? Simply all we do now is unhook it under here, and we will park it right beside the truck, right here. And then we will go park the truck. So without further ado, let's unhook the bow hook and park the boat on the other side over here. Okay, so now with our boat on the ramp or on the dock when the water line is appropriate, we now have a truck with the trailer but without the boat. What we're going to do is we're going to go park next to that truck up there. Simple, you just park as you would normally park. Alright, now that I'm back from fishing, let's go get the truck. Let's back it down here. Show you guys how to load up. Okay, now that the boat's on the ramp, we're ready to back down the trailer again. When loading the boat up, remember that you want to have the trailer out a couple extra inches to a foot. So if you recall, when we were unloading the boat, we had the trailer in where the tires were about 6 inches to about 1.5 feet away from the water. Now we want to have the tires about 1.5 to 2 feet, if not more, depending on the slope. You'll see what I'm talking about, and sometimes you might have to fine adjust. I've been doing this for several years, and I'm still having to learn the perfect ratio. That's a good amount. You can see we still have some bunk, which is the thing that the boat goes on, those two little black boards with carpet on them. We still have a little bit of that exposed, but they're wet enough to where the boat will just slide nicely on them. As you can see, with this ramp it's a little different. I'm several feet above, but there are several factors that contribute to that. You just kind of have to get a feel for it, and practice makes perfect. So let's load the boat up, winch it up, put the straps on, and head home. When driving your boat on your trailer, think of it just like we parked it here. Just center it up, and it doesn't have to be perfect. When I did it, it wasn't perfect. The winch strap right here that we crank will ensure that it centers itself. Always ensure your motor is raised as high as possible. There's no other step besides just winching, so let's go ahead and do that. As you can see, this is a source of error. It's good to cover this though. Notice the roller and the boat. If we get a different angle here, the boat is lower than the roller. That's not good. We want the boat, we want the little nose, this little crook, this little point to be on top of this V. So what we will do is we'll pull the truck forward and try again. And this always solves the issue. It is also a good habit to release some of the strap just to give us a little more leeway when doing so. So let's do that. Now you can see we're at an optimal angle. It doesn't look much, but this will creep up over with the torque of the winch. So without further ado, I'm going to winch that up and we'll go over how to pack the boat up and secure it for transit. Alright, your final product with the winch should look like so. Your handle placement obviously doesn't matter, but what matters is this right here. You want this over the roller, and you want this bow, hook, and loop to be as close to the roller as possible. Always be sure that your strap is in good condition. I recently had to replace mine because it was older than me probably. So take care of that because that's a very important part and you'd be in big trouble if that broke. Okay, once you pull forward, there's the ramp. We just pulled forward because we're leaving. Your motor should still be tilted up as a good habit. On top of that, you should have gone to get your transom saver, the strap for that, and then 2 normal boat straps. I like to start with the transom saver. So what we'll do is we're gonna go lower the motor just a little bit. That should be good. This is a trial and error process with one person, but it's okay, we can do it. You want to be sure this fits in here, but there's enough slack so it's not tight, like that. I got it on the first try, but it's okay if you don't get it. Notice the point of the motor fits roughly in the V. We can always straighten out the steering, but on mine, the steering always kind of plays out. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put the strap on this and then tie up the rest of the boat. Okay, now that we got the strap there, this isn't going anywhere. You can actually see the whole boat almost wiggle if I move it. So now let's go on to the straps. Locate your top loop and your bottom loop on the trailer and position your strap correctly. You want this to be down like so, not the other way. These Velcros will loop to hold our excess strap as well. We can do hook this up like so and hook the bottom like so. Loosely tug to get a rough estimate of how tight you need it to be. This also takes a lot of trial and error. See how it's very snug, but it's not impossible to come undone. That's how you want it to be. Now, we're just gonna fold this up like so. Tuck it there. And close like so. Look at that nice clean finish. Now rinse and repeat on that side. Alrighty, your final product should look like this. One strap, two straps. If you count this as a strap, this is number 3. But your transom saver. You're now ready to hit the road, go back home, storage unit, farm, wherever you keep your boat. It's always a good measure to do a quick safety check. Be sure you take your keys with you, your car keys, anything you might have left in your glove compartment. Just do a run through. Be sure there's no breaks in anything. That the trailer is still on all the way, which it is. Your connections are good. Your chains are crossed. All that. Alright, let's hit the road. Okay. Now that we're back, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the jack down. So, pull and rotate, like so. That way. So, see? Until we hear that. Okay? Now go clockwise to raise. Before going crazy with that though, we need to do a couple things. One, we need to undo this. So after you undo your nut, you can unscrew or uninsert this, your pin, your safety pin. You can also plug the lights. They get stuck in there a lot. That's okay. Next, you'll undo your safety chains. Just leave them hanging. Okay. Now that our chains are disconnected, our lights are disconnected, our pin is out, and this is free. Always be sure this is up when disconnecting. We're ready to start lifting this up. Just gonna keep an eye on that while cranking the handle of the jack clockwise to raise it. It may seem like nothing's happening, but I'm noticing this is starting to bow, which isn't good. If you can see here, what's going on is the ball of the trailer hitch is too far forward. So at this point, we're going to reverse the truck just a little bit to pop it loose. And there you have it. Everything's disconnected. That popped up. Just going to crank it up a little more so it fully unseats itself, like so. See? That's it. Congrats, you successfully took your boat out.